So if it seems like everybody you know was basically playing Resident Evil Requiem this past weekend, there are some numbers to back that up because over on gamersub.com, they write Steamer Stats Resident Evil Requiem is absolutely crushing the charts. Resident Evil Requiem hits god tier concurrent player peaks. If your Steam library is looking a bit Resident Evil heavy this week, you aren't alone. The data is in, and Resident Evil Requiem has officially achieved a god tier launch, peaking at a massive 344,214 concurrent players over its debut weekend. To put that in perspective for casuals, that's more than double the peak of Resident Evil 4 Remake at 168,000. We aren't just looking at a successful horror launch, we're looking at a server melting event. Requiem is currently sitting at number 1 on the global top sellers list, proving that Capcom's horror action hybrid is the ultimate meta pick for 2026. The data. Why is everyone in game? The numbers on SteamDB don't lie. While most single player titles see a steep drop off after the initial hype phase, Requiem is maintaining a ridiculously high daily active user count. The completionist grind. A huge chunk of these players are currently deep in the final puzzle hunt because of the secret requires a 15-minute AFK wait and a specific pacifist triggers. Players are staying logged in longer than the usual to see if the true ending actually exists. I think that's a little like not accurate. You can't be AFK during the 15 minutes or you will die. But yeah, there's a part of the final puzzle that takes 15 minutes of not playing how you normally would. Deck performance. The game's already Steam Deck verified, leading to a massive surge in handheld play. It seems the battery life boss fight is the only thing capable of stopping people from grinding the Raccoon City ruins right now. Community sentiment, overwhelmingly positive. Despite the usual PC port drama regarding De Novo DRM, which is currently the final boss for players with mid-range rigs, the game is sitting at a 94% overwhelmingly positive rating. I played on PC, and I don't have the best PC in the world, and I thought it was totally fine, totally playable. There was like one section where there was a lot of supposed to be cool beams of light from sunlight over these ruins, and it wasn't really working. It was getting kind of weird with my graphics card, but that was the only part that was bad. Most of the game takes place in darker areas, so I never had any issues with that. The Steam Community Hub has essentially turned into a massive, uncoordinated raid team. Players are sharing parry clips and frame data like it's a competitive fighting game. Seeing Leon Kennedy's parry a boulder has become 2026 version of the 360 no-scope, driving even more sales through the viral clip chasing. The devs' response patching coming. Capcom has already issued a community post acknowledging the massive turnout. They've promised a day 14 stability patch to address some of the stuttering issues on high-end 50 series GPUs. Again, like I said, I don't have the best PC, so I don't have to deal with 50 series GPUs issues. It's clear that they weren't entirely prepared for this many people to hit the servers at once, but in the word of AAA launches, too many players is the best thing. It's the best kind of bug to have. Summer Resident Evil Requiem has bypassed the niche horror tag and entered the must-play Titan tier. It's GG for competition this quarter. Then let's head over to Eurogamer and Victoria Phillips Kennedy, who writes, Resident Evil Requiem has surpassed 5 million copies sold in less than a week. It seems that even as we head into the warmer, petal-filled season of spring, all we really want is some gritty zombie horror in our lives. Earlier today, Capcom revealed the Resident Evil Requiem has already surpassed 5 million in sales. That's 5 million copies sold in less than a week. Meanwhile, the Resident Evil series as a whole has shifted over 183 million units as of December 31st. Think of how many dead zombies that is. According to Capcom, Resident Evil Requiem successfully elevated the essence of survival horror by heightening the interplay between intense fear and exhilarating action. As someone who's played the fair chunk of Resident Evil Requiem lately, I can for sure appreciate what the studio is saying here. There's a very cathartic emotional release going from the timid and shaking Grace to the roundhouse kicking Leon, who knows how to wield a chainsaw with the confidence many a tree surgeon wished they had. Capcom also continues to credit its game engine, the RE engine, for Resident Evil Requiem's success, has allowed the company to deliver visuals in a photorealistic detail, including the character's skin, teary eyes, and flowing hair, as well as translucency of light. There's also the game's multiple difficulty setting and the ability to switch between first-person and third-person perspectives in real time, which Capcom said made Requiem more accessible to both returning Resi fans and series newcomers. The studio noted Resident Evil Requiem had plenty of hype ahead of its release on the 27th of February and had received awards at trade shows such as Gamescom, which of course helped raise its profile. As for the future, the studio said Capcom remains firmly committed to satisfying the expectations of all users by leveraging its industry-leading gameplay development capabilities in order to create highly entertaining gameplay experiences, which is nice to hear. To compare Requiem's number, Resident Evil 4 Remake took 3 months to get to 5 million in sales. Resident Evil Village took 5 months, where Resident Evil 3 Remake took 2 years. We recently awarded Resident Evil Requiem 5 stars, with our Matt calling it both a masterful bit of suffocating horror and a nostalgic, fan-thrilling victory lap for the legendary series. Soon after its debut, Requiem saw the biggest concurrent Steam player count in Resident Evil history. If you're one of the many currently making your way through Resident Evil Requiem, but need a little steer in the right direction, be sure to check out our guides. We have, so that's great for them. Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil Requiem is an absolute gem of a game. On my main channel, we could get everything. I did my review of it. Go check that out if you're interested, or if you just want to hear my final score without the reasons for it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was a perfect game. I loved it so very much, and I cannot wait to see what's next for the series, any kind of DLC, all of that. So, what are your thoughts on Resident Evil Requiem being such a success? Have you picked it up? Are you one of the 5 million who have played it so far? If so, let me know your thoughts on it. And check out our main channel, Wicked Everything, again, for video game reviews and video essays on video games, as well as our sports channel, Wicked Sports, where we cover sports news, and our podcasting channel, Better Radio. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.